And now the competition for Mickey Johnson, young Alex English, an All-American for Frank McGuire at the University of South Carolina last year. So now it is a 9-8 game. Milwaukee again with a 1-point lead as English pulls up. All-American in South Carolina, a very lithe, fluid player. Got a big job today as he has to fill in for Marques Johnson. Buckner in another game in Cleveland you'll also be seeing updated. The Cavaliers in need of a win every time out to get in the playoffs.
And letting them cut as hard as they want, and no openings yet.
Alex English hitting his first.
1997 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame inductee Alex English was one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. Drafted in the 1976 NBA draft, English would have an illustrious career, being named to the NBA All-Star team 8 times. He was an All-NBA performer, as well as having coached in the league during his post-retirement years. It was also during his career in the 80s that English played against some of the greatest small forwards to ever play the game. English spoke to ESHE magazine about those battles and what made him stand out against some of the greatest players of all time.
Rich Kelly is in for the first time for the Nuggets. English will answer the bat. Lakers lead by 9. Again, the inside game of the Nuggets pretty well taken away by the Lakers right now.
Well, you know, it could get difficult on the defensive end because all those guys were great players in their own right, and they were tough to guard. But I always said they had to come down to the other end, and they had to guard me.
And how was it playing in that system in Denver with Dan Issel where y'all got it and y'all went up and down the whole time?
Well, for me, it was the best basketball you could play because you got to express yourself on the floor. There was nobody standing around. It was a fast-paced game. And it seems to be the game is going back to that now, to a quicker pace. And, you know, it was a fun way to play.
That game that you all played against the Detroit Pistons when both of you all broke records for individual team scoring, how did you feel after that game?
Tired. It was, if I can remember, it was over 4 overtimes, and you know, it was a fast-paced game, so it was a tough game. You know, it was a very exhausting game, but and on top of that, we lost, so you know that was not any fun either.
Yeah. What was the best piece of advice that you received early in your career that enabled you to encounter the success that you received as a player?
Well, as a basketball player, I think getting the advice to, when you shoot your shot, to always follow it. And that way you get a lot of offensive rebounds, offensive putbacks. But the other thing was having a passion for the game. If you have a passion for the game, it makes you work harder to get better and better and better.